Hi everyone, Anthony here. Welcome back to this series about getting started with Dorico SE, Steinberg's free music notation software. In the last video, we saw how to get the software up and running on your computer. So now we're all set, we can dive straight in and have a look around. I've opened a Dorico project here, a song for voice and piano, which I'll use to show you around the user interface. As you can see, there's lots of space here to show the music. The design of the Dorico window keeps everything clean and uncluttered. But then on each side of the window, you can show and hide panels that give you access to the various controls and music notations you're going to want to use in your projects. At the top of the window is the toolbar that contains a few more general functions. You can minimize the toolbar as well and show it again by clicking anywhere along this thin strip. The toolbar is always the same wherever you're working in Dorico. On the right, we have some basic transport controls for starting and stopping playback, for live MIDI recording, and for enabling the metronome click. And here you can open the video window for scoring to picture, the mixer, and the full set of transport controls. In the middle of the toolbar, there are controls for selecting what to display in the music area. For example, I can choose to look at the voice-only part, and with the tab bar showing, I can open a new tab and display a different layout. Then, over here on the left, we find the mode buttons. Dorico uses modes to adapt the user interface to fit the type of work you're doing. These roughly follow the different stages of working through a project, setting it up, writing your music, playing it back, and printing it out. At the moment, we're in write mode, which is probably where you'll spend most of your time in Dorico. Here is where you'll input, edit, and arrange your music. The left panel is the notes panel, where you'll find note durations, common accidentals, slurs, and articulations. The Notes toolbox, which is visible even when the panel is hidden, enable many of Dorico's powerful input tools, some of which we'll be exploring over the course of this video series. Over on the right is the Notations panel, where you'll find all of the notation items you need to construct your score, neatly organized into musical categories. For example, clefs, key signatures, time signatures, and so on. The lower panel is for setting special properties on selected items that change the way they look or are positioned in the music. It's context sensitive, which means that when you select an item in the music, only the properties relating to that item are shown, making it easier to find the control you need. To set a property, click the little switch to turn it on and choose a setting. If we switch to setup mode, you'll notice these panels all change to display different controls. Here is where you choose which players and instruments you have in your music. You can set up the overall structure of your project. So if you're writing a piece that has more than one movement or song, etc., then you can create those additional flows, as we call them here. And then Dorico brings these all together into layouts that are the actual sheet music that you work with in the middle here, and that you'll print for your musicians to perform from. Play mode presents a different way of working and interacting with your music that will be familiar to those of you who have previously used software sequencers and DAWs. The music for each instrument is presented in a MIDI piano roll view that places the notes graphically on a sort of grid where each row denotes a different chromatic pitch and horizontally shows where the notes start and stop. Dorico has some really clever tools for controlling the playback of your music without affecting the notation, allowing you to shape a more natural and human-like performance. Play mode has just the one collapsible panel here on the right, which lists the VST and MIDI instruments through which the music in your project is being played. Dorico SE ships with the VST instrument Hallian Sonic SE, which has a library of different sounds that Dorico loads automatically and uses for the instruments in your project. Our final mode is print mode, which provides all the control you need to print your music exactly how you want it. For example, on single sheets or in booklet form, telling your printer to print on both sides of the paper, and so on. And you can also export your music to graphics files in a variety of different formats, including PDF, making it very easy and quick to share your music. Okay, now we're familiar with the basic setup of Dorico, let's start making some music. In the next video, we're going to create our first project and see how easy it is to input music, either note by note using your computer or recording it live using a MIDI keyboard. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please hit the like button below and leave a comment if you have any questions. I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.